There's a reason why I changed the song today. Because there's a lot of fire going on. Hold on. I got to open this up. Because I can't see you guys. There it is. Hello, yeah, Firewoman. Well, let's talk about the fire right now. We have Firewoman. We got the fire crotch. Missing in action. Did she go back on her vacation? She came out a couple days ago, and they're all wearing black. She wore black the other day. They all came out today wearing black. We'll get into that. We got the fire hyena. She's going to Vietnam. Hitting the road, getting away from Joe. Whoop, whoop, whoop. And then tomorrow, Steve Cortez just said it on War Room. Tomorrow is the fire rally. Whoop, 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 whoop. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Mike Lindell, My Pillow, is going to be opening. And I think there's other people speaking. I don't have a thing in front of me. Before our Mr. President Trump. Whoop. It's going to be awesome. All right, so that's why I played Firewoman. Also, the band, couple bands I was in, I used to sing this song. I don't know why everything is digging here. Okay. Carl Aben, I'm able to message or read your comments. I have no idea. I have no idea what's going on. I have an Autobot that takes curses and a lot of the spam, but when you guys put @administrate on the Telegram, I come in, I see it's spam, I take it down. I had a guy that was helping me, but he's disappeared. So I don't have anybody there. Also, just to let everyone know that you follow me and oh, you love me and you make, these weird comments. But when someone retelegrams me, like when I laugh at like Orange Biden, and you write, and it's in somebody else's room, and you write, I love Carly, but her laugh is annoying. Guess what? I fixed it so you never have to hear that laugh again. Well, then again, you might hear it because it's going viral on Twitter. It's being repurposed over on TikTok. It's being refurbished over on Instagram. It's on Getter. So you won't be able to escape it in the atmosphere, but you won't have to see it on my feed because I care that much about you. Right, Time Foolery? Okay. Shout out to Farrah. Farrah hit up my PayPal. Thank you, darling. Also, hello to Twitch and to, what is this one? I don't even know anymore. D-Live, Foxhole, and ScrewTube. Yeah. All right. So, yeah, Time Fooler's like, damn right, Mama. That's right. And you know what kills me is when people like boost that videos with my laugh on it and they put it over, and I can't get to Twitter and stuff. And God bless anybody that when I write in Telegram, please send this to Scavino. Like I made a video last night. You had that the one that was crying at the what is it, the 1-6 hearing, the idiot, And he said, you know, something like Joe didn't pull out correctly. And I made it with, that's what she said. And I make a video like that. And I'm like, please get it to Dan so he can troll this idiot some more. And you guys do that for me. Thank you so much. But whether you love me or you hate me, people enjoy the cackle. So out of hundreds and thousands, where the cackle brings them joy, you don't have to enjoy it. But you know what? Your nasty remarks on someone else's feed, because you have no balls to say it to my face in my feed, I will find you and I will relinquish any power you have to see it in my feed. And that's it. All right? I didn't ask for this cackle. I didn't ask for people to like it so much. Hell, I'm a singer. I'm a singer. Or was a singer. 30-something years. But the cackle went viral, then the cackle went viral again, and the cackle went viral again, the cackle went viral again. Everyone's telling me now that I laugh so great with Tucker that I should be on his show. So, hey Tucker, how you doing? Isn't it funny? Tucker did that segment last night about Joe turning orange. What did we just talk about the other day? Where I said, why is Joe looking so orange? I swear to God. I don't know. Coincidence? You know I don't believe in those. I don't believe in those. Now, let's talk. I just want to set the world on fire. Yeah, it's on fire. And, you know, Joe tried coming back out with COVID because, you know, that was his card. That's why I won. I was going to save the world from the COVID. Nope. Nope. Nope, nope. And he came out today with the whole crew. It looked like they were dressed for a funeral. The whole cabinet's been dressed in black. It's a funeral. It's the Addams Family. They're creepy and they're kooky, mysterious and spooky. They're all together spooky. The Biden regime. Yeah. Okay. And he came out and he lied. Now, let me go through a few things. Now, this guy from Florida, let me see if I get his video. Right here. Now, he was nice. He tries to be nice. Biden filled with spin, or he's heartless, clueless, or all of the above. I mean, Biden pointed to Blinken, and he pointed to his general. I mean, my secretary is, you know, he can't remember. And said, what the world? We did this together with NATO. Nobody's saying anything bad. And they're all thanking God for mask mandates today. Because they were all there with their black masks so you can't see. And all you saw were eyes going like this and going down. Going like this, staring straight ahead and going down. So let's think about it. Like we saw Joe at Camp David alone at the desk. Are they deliberately maybe keeping information away from Joe of what's going on? Where Joe says today, yay, you got a passport, walk right up to the airfield. No problem, you're an American, we're going to get you. Where you got France, you got England paratrooping in, driving caravans in of SUVs getting their people. And Biden's like, oh, there's no problem. We talked to the Taliban. No problem. You know, this was Trump's deal. Trump made this deal. Yeah, Trump's deal was the minute you leave your province, the minute you step off your mound of sand that leads to your front door and screw up, I'm going to bomb the shit out of you. That's what Trump said. You get your people out first, you get your airports, you get everything, you take care of everybody. And you don't tell people, yes, we're leaving, undercover people, you know, to keep an eye out. You don't tell people those plans. Who watched George last night? And the videos that he showed on YouTube. And the president saying, you don't tell the enemy what you're going to do. You don't tell them what you're going to do. But he said, you fuck up, I blow your shit up. And he said, we get our people out first, and we blow up any munitions and shit all over the place. And then we pull out our people. We never tell them how many people, how many we're going to leave. But Biden wanted to be big man. Ripped up everything else that Trump did. 17 executive orders on day one. What is he up to, like 50, 60 of these stupid ass things? I can't wait. Talk about fire. I'm gonna light shit up when Trump comes in and only signs one executive order. And that executive order is going to say, I reverse every damn dumb stupid thing the penis wrinkle invoked. Signed, President and Champion Donald J. Trump. Now, people are like, why would Biden do this? Why do you think he's doing it? Why do you think he had a deal with China for the minerals? China owns 80% of the minerals market. That's what makes your phones, your computers, your solar panels, your windmills, your electric cars. Now you got Elon Musk and his freaking creepy ass robots are going to take over McDonald's and all this shit. Wouldn't it be funny? It's Elon Musk, he fills the Amazon warehouse with his iRobot, and they all turn against Bezos. Because, you know, they're fighting for space, and Bezos like, it's going to be me. And Virgin goes, no, it's going to be me. And Elon's like, why don't I just give you some robots for free? Yeah, they could do all those jobs you didn't want to do. And then all of a sudden it's like, Can you imagine? I totally see it. Let me see. So now I did a whole thread of the nonsense. You know, I even put out a statement. I said, I'm so embarrassed, but I will put the penis wrinkles Q&A in my Telegram. And I did. And it was chock full of bullshit. All right? But it was after the presser and after the questions that the real fun began. The real fun. Okay? So, see who this is? This is Jen. She's a never Trumper, but she was stationed in Afghanistan for years. She reports everything, Pentagon, military. She does her job well, even though she hates Trump. People can hate Trump and still do their job well. They just don't understand Trump. Now She's starting to understand. And between her, the rest of the mainstream media, Cavuto Potato Face, Brett Mikey Face Bear, all of them, it is glorious because they're not going to let this go. You have to understand, they have friends in Afghanistan. They'll never mention China because Joe is bought and paid for, thanks to his son Hunter, by China for the minerals. Everyone's saying, why would he just give Afghanistan like that? He put down everything Trump did. He could have just said, fuck you, Taliban, and dropped some bombs on them. And he's like, no, civil war. Bullshit. Either you're tied to your woke-topia narrative that we don't bomb innocent people, which is nonsense. You were vice president to Barry for 8 years. So no one will mention China, just so China's, drooling. That's all they'll say. China's already there. Probably China is refueling those missing freaking planes. But this woman right here, she's pissed. Where, the other talking heads, like on CNN, MSNBC, they have no soul. And they've been wrong and haven't apologized and have put out fake news for so long that they're not fazed by this. They're not really fazed. They're just going to do what they do. Okay? This woman holds her reputation very high and her investigative reporting very high. And this has got her. This is going to be happening to a lot of people. Because they're not just your average talking heads. These are reporters. These are journalists. And they hold their standard in very high regard. Lifetime of work. And they're losing their shit. They don't understand. She said, right after Biden talked, I couldn't move fast enough to fact check all his lies because they were simultaneous. She couldn't fact check him fast enough. She couldn't keep up with the lies. Let's play some Jen. You know what? I'm gonna put a few sounds for you guys to hear, these people, and how it's just gloriously on fire.
Out of Afghanistan is because there are no third-party countries willing to allow U.S. flights to land, and those are not SIVs on board those planes. They're refugees, and they are not being given permission by this White House to come straight to the United States. So this is a alternate reality that was just presented from the White House. And I just feel a great deal of empathy, not only for the people of Afghanistan, but for our poor Marines and 82nd Airborne who have been sent back into the airport after having been pulled out unceremoniously, having to lift those babies over the walls and see the scenes of humanitarian disaster that were anticipated. There were discussions about this in the Situation Room, that this is what would happen if the U.S. pulled out, and President Biden took the decision anyway.
Oof. Oof. Now this was after Biden. Then she got to question the puppet, the one with the cheeks that looks like something out of Puppet Master or Punch and Judy. But did you hear that key line? The key line, which has been repeated, mostly on Fox. But you're going to hear this.
Out of Afghanistan is land, and those are not SIVs on board those planes. They're refugees, and they are not being given permission by this White House to come straight to the United States. So this is a alternate reality that was
alternate reality. I don't know. I lost count how many times I heard Joe Biden is in an alternate reality. Dun dun dun! Quite a number of times. Quite a number of times. Where's another one? Let's hear from Lindsay. Here we go. Bitch is pissed.
How could the State Department be telling people on the ground, we can't guarantee your safety. We may close the gate at any minute if there's a plan to get you out? How can the President of the United States not know that Al-Qaeda's in 15 provinces? President Biden is disconnected from reality at a time is very dangerous.
Now he's disconnected from reality. Here's Jennifer Griffin. Whoever put it in the chat, thank you. Listen to this. She goes in. And my header is, it looks could kill. Jen's eyes are throwing daggers. Throwing daggers.
permission to fly Afghans from Kabul to the United States or only to a third country? And is that what the holdup was?
That was not what the holdup was. The sites at Qatar were just at capacity. There was just no room to flow in additional people. Now, Jen, for special immigrant visa applicants who are already in that process, they will be flown back to the United States, and you've seen that we've done this at Fort Lee. We've announced Fort McCoy and Fort Bliss will be able to receive additional SIV applicants. For those who aren't in the SIV applicant process, there's been no final determination about whether they will be able to come right back to the United States again or in what timetable. That's a whole different category that we'd be dealing with, essentially people that are not part of that, technically part of that process. So that's something we'll be working out with the State Department.
John, what is your current estimate for how many al-Qaeda are inside Afghanistan?
I haven't seen an estimate on that. I don't know if we have an exact estimate.
Military intelligence estimates about how many al-Qaeda remain in Afghanistan.
We know that al-Qaeda is a presence, as well as ISIS, in Afghanistan, and we've talked about that for quite some time. We do not believe it is exorbitantly high, but we don't have an exact figure for you. As I think you might understand, Jen, it's not like they carry identification cards and register somewhere. We don't have a perfect picture. And our ability, our intelligence gathering ability in Afghanistan isn't what it used to be because we aren't there with the same numbers that we used to be.
But the president just said that there is no al-Qaeda presence in Afghanistan. That does not seem to be correct.
What we don't think is that what we believe is that there isn't a presence that is significant enough to merit a threat to our homeland as there was back on 9/11 20 years ago.
The president also said there is no national security interest, no national interest in Afghanistan. I'm a little confused by that. Can you explain why there's no national interest in Afghanistan? Why did we have troops there for 20 years if there's no national interest in Afghanistan?
We had a significant interest in being in Afghanistan to our national security 20 years ago. You've heard the president talk about this. The goal was to defeat, decimate al-Qaeda, also to prevent al-Qaeda from launching attacks on the homeland from Afghanistan, and we did that. We did that and a whole heck of a lot more over the course of 20 years, and to include helping with social, political, economic, just progress in Afghanistan. The president decided that it was time to end this conflict, that there was really only two choices because of the May 1 deadline, either plus up, because after May 1st...
Shut up! Just shut up! Now, here she goes again! Come on,
Digesting what we heard, because I couldn't fact check it fast enough in real time, because there were so many misrepresentations of what is happening on the ground. To hear the president talk about still having an over-the-horizon capability to see what is happening with the remnants of al-Qaeda, ISIS-K, the Khorasan group, and even the Taliban, that would have required partners on the ground. And what we've seen in recent days is that those partners on the ground have been abandoned. They're in hiding. They're fearing for their lives. They've fled the country. We don't have partners. We don't have eyes and ears. The whole reason that U.S. military cannot leave the airport to go and rescue any Americans who are out in Kabul when British and French special forces can do so is that they don't have any partners left. They don't have partners there who can help them safely navigate. So I don't...
Now, did anyone see Scavino last night? Was very busy. He's quite the night owl. Quite the night owl. And he put up the French coming in white SUVs. I saw that video on TikTok. I also saw it, someone else had it on Reddit. They went in the dead of night with a whole caravan of SUVs to get their people. Now, there's another mystery going on that Biden talked about this 169 Americans were rescued. And Jen's like a dog with a bone. Let me find this video. And she's like, what's with this 169? Why can't anyone tell me about this 169? And there's this other one. This one right here. I don't know her name. I don't recognize with the masks. But she's been pissed off for days. She asks about the 169 because Biden's like, we rescued them. They were outside of the airport. So she's like, was it military? Jen asked, was it military? Were their guns drawn? Where were they rescued from? Did one of our guys take it upon themselves to go rescue 169 people? Was it one at a time? Were in these separate groups? Was it a whole group of 169? What the hell was Biden talking about? And no one has an answer.
Questions are this. First of all, what was the situation of these 169 Americans that required U.S. troops to go outside the perimeter and get them? Why these 169 Americans? When did this happen? How long did the mission last? Was it 169 Americans altogether? Did you feel you had safe passage from the Taliban? Tell us more about this.
Yes.
I don't have that level of detail, General Lee, in any context.
Oh, I'm sorry. U.S. troops went outside the wire at the airport to rescue 169 Americans, and that's what the president said. And neither of you have any additional information about it.
I'm happy to take the questions that you've asked back and try to provide additional context. I do not have that level of tactical detail here today, but I'm happy to take those questions and I'm happy to go look and see if we can find answers for you on that. Absolutely. But as my understanding of what happened was they were really just outside the wall. It wasn't very far to go. It was in a relatively short period of time, and it wasn't a rescue so much as assisting them getting onto the field. So I think that's the context in which I understand the incident. Your questions are fair. I will go back and see if we can provide additional context.
You also tell us then, just for the record, have American troops in any other instance or circumstance gone outside the wire at the airport, gone into the city to get people? Have American troops at all left the airport to go get people? And you said you had extended capacity. So do you now, the Secretary said the other day, you didn't have the capacity to really go get Americans. So do you now have the capacity to do that? And is there any other circumstance in which you've done it?
I don't know of any other circumstance. And yes, since Wednesday, since the Secretary spoke to you, we have flown in, and you've heard the General update you literally every day. We have flown in additional capacity, additional forces.
But the additional capacity, the additional forces are on the tarmac, behind the razor wire. We found out about the baby. That was pulled over. Turns out this dumbass, I don't know if the story's true, but the picture that Scavino put out with the Marine holding the baby, and they showed that video over and over again of them taking the baby. Supposedly the baby was sick, and at this airport with the one runway, there seems to be a Norwegian or Danish hospital, which makes no fucking sense. And they took care of the baby, and they gave it back to the father. Now, you expect me to believe that there's some Danish Norwegian hospital near this airport? They took the baby saw the doctor, they brought the baby and gave it back to the father. Did they throw it over the wall? Did they open up a door and say, here's your baby? With all the mayhem going on outside, people getting shot, Taliban saying, go home. All the mayhem videos. How did the Marine return the baby? I don't believe that. I'm sorry. After I had Joe Biden for 17 minutes lie on my TV, and you know how I know it was 17 minutes, that he lied for 17 minutes? Well, let's listen to Martha. Yes, Martha. She said it twice. This video is the second time she said it.
As I said earlier, this was an opportunity at the Pentagon for reporters to continue to press. It was pretty quick with the president, about 17 minutes, and a lot of people had remaining questions that they got to ask at the Pentagon. What's your...
Oh! Let me see if I can find the baby. Here we go.
Seen videos of babies being hefted over the barbed wire and walls, and U.S. servicemen taking them on. Can you tell us what's going on? Are these babies of families who have visas, have U.S. passports? Are they Afghans? Are they people with credentials? So what's happening to their families?
Okay. Yeah. The video you're talking about, the parent asked the Marines to look after the baby because the baby was ill. And so the Marine you see reaching it over the wall took it to a Norwegian hospital that's at the airport. They treated the child and returned the child to the child's father.
Was there only one?
I'm only aware of the one incident.
Okay.
But it was an act of compassion because there was concern about the
Are they
babies.
going to be brought out, the father,
know.
or were they put back outside the airport?
I don't know, Jen. The baby was returned to its father. I don't know I don't know where they are now. We don't.
In the old days A story like that is called a yarn. That was a spinning wheel yarn. Oh my goodness. That is some ice cold bullshit right there. How? They took the baby that was passed from Rose's back, they grabbed it by its back with the diaper, pulled it over barbed wire. It went to a Norwegian hospital in the middle of Afghanistan. What the fuck is there a Norwegian hospital in the middle of Afghanistan? See, this is where I think the first plane and the guy waving like the Thanksgiving Day parade, the balloon plane, is starting to make sense to me. These people are being told you have to go out there and look like the biggest asshole, or we're going to put you in a boot and you will stand in front of a military tribunal. I think they're being forced to look like complete idiots because no one can be that big a complete idiot. I can't. I cannot grasp this. This cannot be real. This is Joe Biden's alternative universe. It makes no sense. I'm sorry. I'm not buying it. I am not buying this shit. Whatever they're trying to sell me, I've been down so many rabbit holes, and this is supposed to be real? With all that I know, you guys out there that watch me, it's going, because no one's buying this shit. I'm sorry. Anyone that knows anything. We're watching 1/6. We're watching the FBI throw this case of the 1/6 white supremacist bad guys. They're throwing it in the garbage because their guys will get indicted. They have to throw it away. The whole white supremacy. While Joe Biden says the most dangerous thing, the terror threat, is white supremacy. And not Al-Qaeda. And not ISIS. There's no Al-Qaeda in Afghanistan. There's no caliphate. It's just... Earth 1, Earth 2. Rachel Maddow's Earth 2. It's gone, man. It's going. It's going. I'd rather any day of the week hang out on Earth 1. Because right now, Rachel, Earth 1 is pointing over to the Earth 2 saying, what the fuck is going on over there? What's going on with that illegitimate penis wrinkle? What? Hello? Hello? No wonder why you're leaking out to other media that you're stepping down. You saw this coming. You're not a stupid woman. You saw this coming. And it's getting more ridiculous every day. Every day. All right. Here. Here. Look at my header. This no answer crap is beyond ridiculous. I'm just showing you what's going on Earth 2. I'm just showing everybody. This is fucking crazy. You know.
My colleague at the Pentagon was just speaking to this. So it is not the case that there is only one location for at-risk Afghans. As these operations have started,
one foreign country that's accepting at-risk Afghans at this moment. Is that correct?
There is, first of all, we have relocated to the United States.
Answer the
2,000,
question, you. It was a simple. Here, I gotta turn this up. It was a simple question. How many countries are taking plane loads of refugees? Remember, we've only gotten 300 Americans out. That plane full of 800 people weren't even allies or SA-1 or SA-2, SR-2 people that worked with us. They were all refugees. They're bringing refugees to the United States, and there was one other country, Qatar, and now they said no more. Germany don't want them. France don't want them. England don't want them. They're in there. France don't want them. They're in there getting their own people. So when Biden's like, no one said anything bad about what I did. Everyone loves me. I'm America's back. No countries, no allies will take our planes. This reporter asked a simple question. What other countries are taking the plane loads of refugees? And this pencil neck goes into a whole thing, doesn't answer, but says and explains how they're all coming to America. Let me play the rest of it. They're all coming here, guys.
My colleague at the Pentagon was just speaking to this. So it is not the case that there is only one location for at-risk Afghans. As these operations have started,
one foreign country that's accepting at-risk Afghans at this moment. Is that correct?
There is.
He keeps making it location. She's asking countries, not location. Countries. And he flips back.
Is, first of all, we have relocated to the United States.
Answer the question, you dweeb!
Applicants under Operation Allies Refuge. Doha has very generously agreed to host these at-risk Afghans as they undergo their processing and continue on to their final destinations. In many cases, that is going to be the United States if they are SIV applicants. So Qatar is not intended to be a long-term location for any Afghans, for any Americans, of course, for any third country nationals. And in fact, flights have already started to take off from Qatar to bring people on a commercial basis, on a charter basis, to the United States, in the case of American citizens, to Ramstein, as I mentioned, for others. And we're going to have additional capacity coming online very soon, in addition to the military bases here that, as you've heard from the Pentagon, can host thousands upon thousands of at-risk Afghans. Laura.
Much of Kirby's briefing today, but can you bring us up to speed on what exactly happened today with?
Yes, I saw in the chat. Yes, that was a word salad, but it's being called Allies Refuge. They're not going in to get Americans. Hell, they can't even get people that have been helping us for 20 years and their families. They're getting the refugees and bringing them to our military bases. We don't know who the fuck these people are. So we got, there's no Al-Qaeda. We could be flying them in to Fort Dix tomorrow. And they could just blow the fucking place up. They're not vetting people, just like at our southern border, they're not even testing for COVID. They're putting them on buses, they're putting them on planes, and they're putting them out in the red states. Now, they're getting ally refugees and bringing them to our bases with our military that can fit thousands. Why aren't they putting out the shit from the southern border in the bases. Something stinks in Denmark, and it ain't the cheese. This reeks, guys. It reeks. This is a planned invasion. This is Joe doing China's bidding. This is Soros-backed. No doubt. And I blame the oligarchs. I blame the lamestream media. I blame Democrats. I blame Hillary, Obama, Clyburn, who put up this husk, this empty fucking husk. Hell, Elizabeth Warren is looking better right now. But this is bought and paid for, and they pushed him into this position by lying and cheating and misinformation and bashing Trump, bashing you, bashing me, the FBI, the CIA, the FISA courts, the military-industrial complex, all wanted Trump gone because he made them all look incompetent, weak, because he got shit done. And they never did. And when he got too big and we became so many and they were losing their base, they had to cheat and put up this sock puppet so they could gain control again. And they did it all with the COVID that came from China. Right now, there's a recall Newsom, and they're already doing it in fake mail-out ballots. People are already grabbing ballots that are being dumped in apartments and screwing around. Kamala, when she comes back from her little trip, is going to rally for Newsom in California. Hey, Earth 2, how you doing? You're not looking good. You're looking kind of orange. Earth 2 is looking very orange. Now, let's look at this bitch. I got 10 minutes left. I'll play more. Justice Amy Coney Barrett issues ruling on Barack Obama's library construction. When was she put on that? Supreme Court Justice Amy Coney Barrett turned back a bid to halt a library dedicated to former President Barack Obama from being built in Chicago neighborhood, where petitioners said they are concerned about permanent harm to the local environment. The Obama Foundation has been engaged in a legal back and forth. The advocacy group Protect Our Parks, as well as other plaintiffs, have cited various reasons to halt this. But Barrett, former President Donald Trump's third nominee to the High Court, who has often been a disappointment to conservatives, appears to have ended the legal tussle in her ruling Friday. We greatly appreciate the continued support of our project and process by the courts, including now from the highest court in the land, the Obama Foundation spokesperson told Fox News. Today's Supreme Court decision is disappointing but not surprising. We still believe that preserving the status quo is fundamental to preventing irreparable harm in Jackson Park, petitioners' co-counsel Michael Raylis said in a statement. Nonetheless, our core arguments seek to protect long-term environmental and historical harm. Barrett ruled because she oversees emergency federal cases in Illinois. She could have ruled on behalf of the petitioners, or she could have referred the matter to the full court. Trees are scheduled to be cut down on September 1st in order to facilitate additional construction. So, Earth 2 is going to get an abomination library, thanks to this one and her illegally adopted kids from Haiti. Okay. Okay. Anyone see this? Owen Schroeder from InfoWars. He's being indicted for being on the steps at the January 6th insurrection. What do they think? They think they're going to make him sing or something? It's just, what, you know, that they're grasping. Earth 2 is grasping. This is great. 52% of Americans don't think Joe Biden is mentally or physically up to the job, and they don't think Kamala is either. And MTG, right now, drawing up articles of impeachment as we speak. If she hasn't done it already. Now, this is the one I wanted to play. Potato Face Cavuto has it out with the Hillary shill, with the bad toupee. Look at the
results of that, and certainly the Taliban had promised, if you break this deal and you don't pull out the troops like President Trump promised, we're going to have a new offensive, there's going to be new violence, and Biden would have had to put in more troops.
But that Trump deal didn't have the contingent numbers to it. In other words, it didn't say 2,500 troops or not. There was nothing like that. So if he had concern, or his people had concern, that President Trump had gone too far in reducing personnel in the area, and I know he moved enough to say that the May deadline that Trump was looking at was too soon and too premature, so he pushed it back. But if he was able and willing to do that, and now in retrospect he seems to be throwing a lot of shade and blame on the prior administration for this. This is on him, isn't it?
Yep.
Well,
Yep. Here's another yep.
Commander-in-Chief not know.
So we don't know, Greg, if the Commander-in-Chief is lying or is confused. There's no way to tell.
Look, you know what he did? He checked Waze. He was like, how long does it take to get to the airport? Oh, it's 30 minutes. Everything's great. The Taliban does not show up on Waze or the GPS. It is amazing how bad he has screwed this up when you consider that this was a popular decision. Think about that. Let's say 75%, I think, of the population wanted to get out. So 75% of the population could have made this decision. All you had to do was get the exit right, and you ended the longest war ever. You would be a hero. But poor Joe couldn't do it. Instead, he pretends the argument is over the decision to pull out, not the horrible conduct associated with the pullout. So what you end up learning is that beyond the decision, he brought nothing, absolutely nothing to the table. That's frightening. We knew that. This is when I smeared when I slammed the media. They enabled and protected him, as well as his snotty, elitist, untested Ivy League candy asses he's surrounded by. But most important, They buried the laptop story so this guy could get in. So Taliban should be thanking Jeff Zucker, Jeff Bezos, The View, everybody else who wanted that story uncovered. Uncovered. Sorry. Or is it covered? Never mind. The whole thing is weird. The whole thing is weird because no one answers the one big question. We all know what it is. Why the Taliban? Why the Taliban? Why them? There was no other alternative over 20 years while we were there. Clearly this is the only...
Why the Taliban? I love this. Greg, you're right there. Why the Taliban? Trump made a deal with the Taliban. Trump got a sword from Saudis. Trump got a soccer ball from Putin. Trump had a lot of people submit. And this is when I go down that rabbit hole that what's going on Earth 2 has been planned all along. I don't know. I'll leave you questioning. I have so many great videos from the 5 and everything. So many things going on. Keeping track of it all for you. Here, one more. One more. I want you to hear Jesse. Placeholder.
Is the President of the United States, the President who's actually the Commander-in-Chief. For us to be doing a segment about Kamala Harris and blaming her for what happened in Afghanistan, that exit, I think is a little bit unfair.
No one's blaming her. It just has the stench of failure wafting over to her hair. Woo! And she's number 2, and Biden was the placeholder. Remember the placeholder, Richard?
I guess.
She's plotting, and she's planning.
Biden was the placeholder. I'll leave you with that. Have a great weekend, everybody. I love you. It's a